What's up, everyone? Welcome to the 468th episode of the Pokemon Podcast. It's super effective. Glory to America, to those
in America.
Well, in the United States, because let's remember, like Canada, Mexico, those are in North America. Central America is a thing, and South America is a thing. So we don't get to claim all of America, although we do try.
I mean, we do try, and we often ignore anybody else. So glory to us in America.
Yes.
Greg is here.
I am here. I am fresh from a 4th of July parade in 101 heat.
It is not 101.
It was in the sun.
Will also here. No tank top.
No, we've got Element. Element skateboards. I'm not a poser. I do own an Element skateboard.
Trying to get them brand deals.
All I wanted to say is, answer me this.
Riddle me this, Batman.
No, that's the name of a podcast. They have their next episode next month, because they've gone to monthly, is episode 400, and they're quitting. We have beat. Answer me this.
Another one down. Another one
so
down.
Much for quality. We'll give you quantity.
Glory to it's super effective.
I know. Those Brits canceled.
It's very weird in the podcast space of like, this probably applies to like YouTubers and other content creators too, but like just shows existing for 10, 15 years and then one day they're done.
I think with Answer Me This, it's been obvious for probably the past 5 years that they haven't wanted to do it anymore. And then they were just like, you know what? It's episode 400. We really don't want to do this anymore. Let's just go out on an even number.
I mean, I support that. That is valid.
I was super into Night Vale until they started doing those live podcasts, and then I was like instantly out.
Live? You mean when they record their live programs?
Yeah, so they would do like their stories, and then they got to like episode like 60, and they did one in front of an audience, and like having the audience laugh at like
that's
dry
what killed
humor.
That's what killed Night Vale for me too. As I watched a video of a live performance, and it's like all the people in the audience. The way that I always put it, it's like the audience were thinking, well, I'm supposed to laugh at this, so let me laugh out loud so people know that I get the joke too. And I'm like, no,
I never
you're
got
just
past,
dumb.
I never got past Night Vale episode 3. I couldn't.
Yeah, I listened to the first 10 episodes probably like 4 or 5 times because a lot of my friends at the time started it as well. So, and then, once we got to the live episode, because like when you're listening to Night Vale, you're never actually laughing out loud.
Correct.
It was just like, oh, that's clever. Like, oh, but then when you're hearing people laugh at the dry humor, you're like, it's not that funny.
Exactly. Well, it's not laugh out loud funny. It's
right.
like
it's
think about
funny.
It and get an internal chuckle.
I just couldn't get past the affectations. Like, it just, their performance.
Hey, you can't talk about affectations on this program,
I
sir.
can, because they're
this is all. That's all we are.
The way they performed that character bothered me deeply, and I could never get past it.
Well, it's not like you went to acting school, Greg. Come on.
It's not like I did a 6-year college degree. I have a BFA. Thank you very much. A Bachelor of Fine Arts, unlike whatever yours is.
It's a piece of paper, I can tell you that. We got actually quite a bit of news today. A lot of it revolves around Bidoof, but I think we'll save that part because there was a lot of Bidoof related things, and that's like both good and bad.
I mean, it was one joke, and they milked that joke for everything they could, and it was.
I have some ratings to give out, and
it was okay.
So we'll get to the Bidoof stuff. Let's start off with some Pokemon Masters news because we haven't talked about Masters in a hot minute.
Pokemon Masters.
I did talk to DNA. Full disclosure, I am partnered with DNA. I said, look, DNA, Papa DNA, I cannot put Kukui and the Master Royale in the same sync pair party. There's an obvious bug.
There is an obvious bug.
And then they said, well, a lot of people have been experiencing this. So we're going to have to get back to you.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, because
they're
very different characters.
They're very different characters. They don't even know each other, as far as I can tell. Like I don't even know when they would have met. So there's that. Also, I haven't pulled Masquerade yet. I spent all my gems in pulling Kiawe because I wanted the best Alolan Pokemon, Alolan Marowak, and I finally got it.
Wait, you like Alolan Marowak?
Yeah.
Who doesn't like Alolan
Marowak is
What's
amazing.
wrong
I
with
have
you?
an Alolan Marowak shirt that I've worn on Community Day while you were there.
I didn't know there was this. Usually, I feel like I know all of your favorite Pokemon. I didn't know Marowak was one.
No. Regular Marowak is just ground normal garbage.
Yeah.
Alolan Marowak.
Alolan Marowak is outstanding.
So you didn't pull the Master Royale.
I didn't. I pulled Kiawe and nobody else because my gem influx is pitifully slow.
Well, we are eventually getting to the 2-year anniversary. What is that, like a month or two away?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the news here is
Emmett and Ingo for reasons.
So wait, for the 2-year anniversary, I can't say this joke.
Do you think? Hold on. I know there were. I know this is off topic. Do you think that? No, probably not. Because we know that we know that Dynamax is coming. Yeah. My thoughts are everywhere. We know that Dynamax is coming to Pokemon Masters. They said that.
Yeah.
And I think they said by the 2-year anniversary.
Yes.
And we have Leon, and we have Nessa, and we have. Who's the other one? Marley. Marnie.
We have Marnie. We have Nessa. We have Leon.
Pierce. But Pierce doesn't Dynamax.
Pierce doesn't Dynamax. Do we have Raihan?
Yeah, we have Raihan. And he has Duraludon.
Yep.
So that's G-Max. Leon has Charizard. That's G-Max.
Yep.
Marnie is more Pekko, so no.
No.
But could Dynamax.
Nessa
has Dreadnought?
Yeah.
So G-Max.
Could be G-Max.
They've done such a good job in the last year and a half of lining events up.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously Gigantamax will eventually come to Masters, even though we are already fighting big Pokemon in a raid battle sense. But I would be curious if Gigantamax, if you want Gigantamax Charizard, if they need more EX raid stuff. And they know that EX raids, we know that that's coming back. We talked about that a week ago. So I wonder
you switching? Now you're switching to Go.
Yeah, I just wonder if they're going to line the two up.
Oh, I see. So you're saying we're going to get...
Because we know when Gigantamax is coming. We know that, I guess we're assuming it's coming for the 2-year, but I swear they said that at one point.
I don't know that I remember them saying that specifically, but I think they've heavily implied that there's going to be that it's going to come at the 2-year anniversary.
Yeah. But they normally in Go do something big for there's usually one big mechanic they do in Go. Last year was Megas. Mm-hmm. Was it last year? I can't remember when people were complaining.
It was last year.
Anyways, for characters we never thought would come to Masters, Ingo and Excadrill and Emmett and Archeops are here.
Yeah.
Will knows who they are. They're the Battle Subway bosses from the Unova region.
Correct.
Will, what's your hot take on these two dudes?
I mean, that's a unique feature of the black and white games that wasn't carried forward, but they're just, you battle your way through the Battle Subway and finally get to the conductors. What more is there to say?
Spoiler alert. They're building a Battle Subway in Paizo.
Passio?
What? Are they really?
That's their storyline, yeah. They want to build a Battle Subway.
Are there enough locations to travel to require a subway?
I'm not going to spoil the story of what they find and how they make their thing.
Remember that town in Unova you could only get to by riding the train?
Yes.
And it was the train turnaround town?
Yeah.
Unova just fantastic.
Unova's
I'm waiting
amazing.
for the character that gets Will hardcore into Masters.
We're already 2 years past any possibility. I can't. My only response to gacha games is to continually ask all of you people, please let the industry know that we don't want gacha games by stop playing them. That is the only way they will learn. Is if you all stop playing gacha games, they will stop making gacha games.
Yeah, but everyone's playing Genshin Impact at this point.
Everyone's playing Genshin.
I stopped playing.
I had to stop. I didn't
good
get
game,
very
though.
far into it. So, FYI, there were a lot of people I know that were confused as to why Ingo and Emmett have Excadrill and Archeops.
I'm assuming those people never battled like these. Like those are their Pokemon.
They did well. It's their Pokemon on the 49th consecutive battle. It's not what they have the first time. So if you only got to 20, you never saw it, and it's also only through the multi-trains. Like it's a very specific, like it happened in the second team set, but they do have them.
But also, when has Pokemon Masters ever hewn so close to what
they
Pokemon should be related with any individual?
They do. The only time they don't is when it's the alternate clothing. What is that called?
Sigma Suits.
Sigma Suits is what strays away from the main series lore.
Sigma Suits and
I feel
Holidays.
like I've heard you guys
Holidays.
complain about, shouldn't this person have shown up with this Pokemon, but they actually didn't do it? And how are we going to have 8 Charizards in the game when there's so many people that are so identified with Charizard?
Yeah, but the Charizards are different. One's Mega, one's going to be Gigantamax, one's regular.
I think there are things like Dawn is here with Turtwig, and Dawn had Piplup in the anime.
Yeah, hello.
So there are things like that because they gave Barry Piplup. So
but what else were they going to give Barry? Come on.
I know. So there are they stray from people's expectations, but usually there is an underlying reason, unless it's a Sigma suit or a holiday specific pair.
But after this game almost existing for 2 years, it's kind of nice that the Sigma suits stray away from that, because otherwise you wouldn't ever see specific Pokemon.
Right.
Because if you're only limiting yourself to like gym leaders, like they run out of Pokemon relatively quickly.
They have a lot of Battle Frontier and Battle Subways and Battle Towers and Battle Manor. They have a lot of people to pull from. They're not going to run out anytime soon.
Yeah.
I think what's really interesting, though, about including Emmett and Ingo is there are people who were even like hardcore fans and players of Black and White 2, who even played extensive post-game, who never encountered Emmett and Ingo.
Yeah.
In Black 2, White 2, you do have to fight them once. They're outside of the subway, and you have to do a double battle with them with your with Bianca, I think. Not Bianca. Hugh. Yeah, so you and Hugh have to battle them once, and then you can just completely ignore them. But in the first one, in first Black and White, you could just never go into the subway and never see them.
And never ever see them.
I did hear, I heard the same complaint you heard, Greg, which is like, why do they have these Pokemon? We talked about that. The other thing is like, I saw people were upset they were like Fair Scout, but when they announced these characters in Japan, they were trending on Twitter. Mm-hmm. Like, these are 2 super popular characters in Japan. And so, like, even though, like, I know a bunch of people being like, I'm skipping these, I'm not going to Fair Scout for them. It's like, that's fine.
Yeah.
Japan will gladly pay for everything they need to pay in Fair Scout.
And they have a lot. They have too many banners running right now anyways, so it's fine if you skip these
and it's totally fine to skip. And I don't know why people feel they need to pull on every new banner. And because pulling is fun. I get it.
Pulling is fun. It is the nature of gacha games where they make it like these are new and exciting, and you get to pull these new and exciting, potentially high quality sync pairs. And, they make a big deal out of them, and they get introduced, and there's stories around them. And also, in their own storyline, if you have them, you get better rewards from that storyline. So there's, multiple layers as to why you want to pull on that banner. Because, in their storyline, they give a 1.6 times boost to getting the tickets as a reward, and nobody else gives you that much. So even having just one of them increases the amount of tickets you get from that. It's built into the game economy to make you want to pull on them, but as a gacha game player, resist the urge. You don't need it.
Save.
You will get, even if you have the 1.4, if you line everybody up who has it, you will get so many tickets you run out of the top tier rewards anyways if you do it every day. And do 10 of them with your tickets and stamina. If that's the only thing you do, you will have more than enough to buy everything out of the item shop.
I think it's cool they added these two characters, though. Yeah. Even if you don't like them, it's cool that... I feel like every time they add a character that people forget about, like Ingo and Emmett, we get one step closer to Mirror B and Ludicolo.
I will pay potential money to pull Mirror B and Ludicolo. You have no idea how much I want Mirror B. I love Mirror B so much.
I have gone on record many times not liking Gale of Darkness or Coliseum, but there's two things about those games that are huge bangers. Number one, the music.
The music is incredible.
The music in those games, but easily the best feature. Number two is just Mirror B in general as a character.
Yes.
Top two things of those games.
Those games are brilliant, so whatever. You're just such a hater. I can't even stand it. But Mirror B is incredible.
Take the compliments of the game.
I will. They've never released the soundtrack for those here, have they?
I wonder if they did release them in Japan. I don't think they did.
I don't think they did.
We still don't have Sword and Shield soundtrack either.
I know. We need Braxton Burks to remake a jazz band version of all those Coliseum songs.
There's your Pokemon Masters minute. I'm sure we'll start. I'm sure we'll start talking about more closer to
as they release more things.
I'm sure. I'm just hoping for a real good gem sale. That's what
I mean, if Mirror B is coming in the 2-year anniversary, I will also hope for a good gem sale.
This is off Pokemon.com. They have announced Series 10 for competitive play here starting August 1st, and that will go for 3 months for Pokemon Sword and Shield. As previously seen in Ranked Series 8, trainers could include one restricted Pokemon from the list of their one restricted Pokemon listed below for their battle team. This is different than GS Cup, which people thought was going to be Series 10. And then the twist to Series 10 is that you will not be allowed to Dynamax.
Oh.
So the restricted Pokemon are normally box Pokemon. Now, I get this all the time when I'm doing competitive. They're like, wow, there's a lot of legendaries. And it seems unfair. It's not. There are legendaries that are just straight up bad, like Savali and Type Null and Cosmog. Just because a Pokemon's legendary doesn't mean by default it's automatically good. But the box legends, which is probably the easiest way to classify them, you're allowed to have one on your team. So that would be Mewtwo, Lugia, Ho-Oh, Kyogre, Groudon. Spoiler, Kyogre, Groudon are some of the best. Rayquaza, Dialga, Palkia, Giratina, Reshiram, Zekrom. Spoiler, Giratina is probably one of the worst. Kyurem, Xerneas, Yveltal, Zygarde, Cosmog, Cosmoem. Don't have to asterisk that. Solgaleo, Lunala, Necrozma, Zacian, Zamazenta. Spoiler, Zamazenta is very bad. Eternatus, and Calyrex. With Calyrex, that would also be Calyrex riding Spectrier and Glastrier. So Shadow Rider or Ice Rider. That being said, you could have Calyrex on Spectrier, and you could still have a Glastrier on your team. You just can't have Calyrex riding both.
Is Xerneas still real good, or is Xerneas
So
middle of the road?
Xerneas was awful in Dynamax format, which is really funny because everyone thought Dynamax Xerneas would be unstoppable, but it just didn't work out that way. So Xerneas should be good again now that there's no Dynamax. Now, going back to the earlier thing where they did mention GS Cup, GS Cup was like the end of Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, where you could have two legendary Pokemon, or sorry, two box legends. So you would see a lot of people running Kyogre and Groudon, or Kyogre and Rayquaza, or Groudon Rayquaza, or Xerneas Groudon. Usually Groudon and Kyogre was somewhere in that combination because they control weather very well. So not that. And then I just want to mention this because people are silly. They're like, oh, they finally realized Dynamax was bad. No, that's not what they're doing. They did this in Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, where they did a whole format where they were like, no Z moves. And then they did a whole format where they were like, no Megas. And then they did a whole format where they were like, you could use both.
FYI, this is called data collection, and you're doing it for them for free.
Yeah, if you're not super into competitive, and we've seen these people, we talk about these people all the time where they're like, wow, Dreadnought could set up Stealth Rock, it's so broken. Like, we see these these people are not in competitive. They think they're into competitive. They complain about the metagame. They don't play the metagame. There are lots of things that were changed that, like, for example, Mamoswine had Peck. You could, prior to Gen 8, you could use Peck on Mamoswine. No one ever did that because it was a bad move on Mamoswine in Gen 7 and Gen 6 and Gen 5. Do you know why they got rid of Peck? Because Max Airstream Mamoswine would have been really good.
Yeah.
Mamoswine Dynamaxing and then setting up Airstream for speed control is incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
So
why did they get rid of that? That would have been awesome. I love Mamoswine.
Because Mamoswine can never be king. Be careful what you ask for.
Mamoswine's one of my favorites.
So Dynamax
It's like
was
your
really
fourth favorite.
It is.
So Dynamax was really good to get around things like Fake Out, to get around things like accuracy, evasion. Dynamax moves hit. Dynamax also takes a move like Dazzling Gleam, and instead of making it a double target, it makes it a single target. So when you know a Pokemon Dynamax is, they're stuck in single target. They can only pick one. So there's a lot of structure issues that Dynamax does very well. But now, without Dynamax, you're going to see a lot more Fake Out. And you are going to see Urshifu. And no, they did not ban Urshifu. Urshifu, I don't know why they would. They clearly... This is the thing, is it's their game. They can change they have changed their Pokemon.
Yeah.
They have changed their moves. They have changed stats. They have nerfed Pokemon before. Talonflame was very, very good in Gen 5. And then they were like, whoa, Gale Wing's ability is way too strong. We need to change this in Gen 6.
Yeah, boo.
So I don't see why.
Bird Gale Wings, yeah.
So Urshifu being very good because its ability is Unseen Fist. So it means that you cannot protect in front of Urshifu. So you have situations now, or you will in Series 10, where they lead Urshifu, and they lead somebody that has Fake Out, and you can't protect against the Fake Out because Urshifu will just break through Protect. And you can't Dynamax Max Guard because you can't Dynamax.
You can't Dynamax.
So this will lead to really interesting situations, and it should make the format very different than what we saw at the end of Series 7 with a lot of Kyogre, a lot of Groudon, a lot of Rayquaza, Megas. I don't know if it'll be good or bad. Zacian is here now. Urshifu is here now. Both Calorexes are here. The Ice Rider, Shadow Rider. You can still use the regular Glastrier. Urshifu is here. So there's a lot of new Pokemon that really dictate what other Pokemon you can use. That being said, the best Pokemon in the format is still and always will be Incineroar, which is not a legendary Pokemon, but a very, very good Pokemon. Oh, and we still have Elekey. We have Elekey. We have Regidrago. Elekey has been very, very dominant. I don't know if Elekey is dominant because Dynamax.
You will find out, won't we?
We will find out. Reggie Drago really didn't see any action, but maybe because there's no Dynamax, Reggie Drago moves up in the list. And Eternatus, which was a very bad Pokemon in the Dynamax format, seems really good here. Because if you can't, if they could never Dynamax, and now you can't Dynamax, so they seem potentially okay here. But yeah, I guess we'll find out. So all of July, you can still do Series 9.
Yep.
And then
does this start on August 1st? Yeah.
Yeah, August 1st this will start, and then it will run August, September, and October. And then November 1st, I don't know what's happening. Because November is also when Diamond and Pearl comes out. So I wonder if they switch to GS Cup at that point. But because they do just straight up mention, note this is different than previous GS Cup regulations. So I don't know if they switch to GS Cup at that point.
Or they switch immediately like they've done in the past to Diamond and Pearl format.
Right, because they want to sell.
Yep.
Like, I mean, there have been times where they switch the competitive. It's like 1 week after the game came out.
Or you're those UK players and the weekend Sword and Shield came out. They're still playing Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon because they had a regional tournament that weekend.
Oh, well.
This is from the twitter.com/Oreo.
Cookie?
Oreo Cookie Verified, June 30th, says, our newest collab in September is going to be electric emoji. Can you guess what it is, trainers? Here are some more hints. Leaf emoji, fire emoji, water emoji. So I know this is a Pokemon podcast, but it's really weird that Oreo is partnering with Avatar, The Last Airbender.
Yeah.
And why would they bring it up? It's just so weird. I personally can't wait for grass-flavored Oreos to come.
You know it's mint. You know it's mint.
I don't know that. Do you know that? They haven't said. Their hint was fire.
My uncle
grass,
works at Oreo. And he told me.
I saw a real good hot take because we've been comparing the 25th anniversary to the 20th anniversary. And I think we all agree that the 20th anniversary was better.
It was great. And this has been garbage.
And the hot take was the 20th anniversary was very good at targeting hardcore fans. And the 25th anniversary has been good at targeting non-hardcore fans.
No,
what have they
targeted?
targeted?
I agree. Because you don't want to oversaturate the non-hardcore fans.
Well, like, what is Oreo? Oreo is literally for people to, like, walk down the aisle at Target or Walmart and be like, oh, there's a Pikachu on this. I'm going to buy it.
Yep.
That's, like, literally all it's there for is to remind casual fans that Pokemon is a thing. And when I look at the last 7 months, that's, like, literally everything they've been doing is, like...
They've done one song... and
but again,
a collab with Oreo. That's not like a deluge of things for the casual player.
I mean, technically 2 songs, but...
Yeah, they did Post Malone and Katy Perry.
They did Post Malone, which also, if you think about it, was just like, hey, Post Malone like Hootie the Blowfish. Because unless you knew it was specifically for Pokemon, you would have never made that connection. And same with Katy Perry. Unless you watched the video, the song is so generic. Like, you had to be aware that this was a Pokemon thing.
So you're making the argument that the 25th anniversary is designed to appeal to a wider audience.
To a wider audience who has no idea that Pokemon exists. That will just be like, I'll buy a Katy Perry song, sure.
Is this going to be 4 different Oreos, or is it just going to be one? It has to just be like one pack.
No. That is not how we do Oreos. No, you never find a multi-flavor pack of Oreos. Oreo fans are purists and dedicated to the type of Oreo that they enjoy.
Carrot cake. Well,
not even flavor, right? Because you'll have people who are like, man... If you don't like double stuff Oreos, get out my house. And then there's the other people who are like, but the cookie part is better, so I prefer like the regular stuff
the thins are so
Oreos,
good.
Right? And then you'll have your carrot cake or your whatever
Lemon.
bizarre. So they're going to have
Red velvet.
Okay, do they have a red velvet already?
Yes.
Okay, first off, the Lady Gaga Oreos were some of the best.
I didn't even know that. I don't even look at the Oreos as I walk. Oreo is like, of all the cookies in the universe, possibly the worst.
What flavor
What?
was the Lady Gaga Oreos?
It was pink cookie,
Yeah,
and then the inside was green cream, and then
Yeah.
pink cookie again.
but what were the flavors?
I don't.
Was it
Yeah,
just Oreo
or just
flavored? Was it just
Oreo.
chocolate and cream?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't chocolate.
Was it vanilla?
I don't know.
All right, so
it was
the-
hard. Look, you can't describe Lady Gaga as one flavor, Greg.
Pikachu.
I'm not talking about Lady Gaga. I'm talking about
was-
Lady Gaga Oreos.
It was her
you
cookie.
ate them. The Pikachu Oreo banana.
Oh,
The-
I'm in so hardcore.
The
Bulbasaur,
Bulbasaur mint.
grass.
I think it's just going to be one cookie.
Squirtle. No. We can't
Blueberry.
really do. We can't do fruit flavors in Oreo. Cannot.
Yeah, you can. Lemon. The lemon Oreos are outstanding. They're my favorites.
I don't think they're making 4 cookies. I think it's one cookie.
Well, then you're
and I'm
wrong.
sure it's going to be like I'm sure it's going to be like a Pokeball. It's going to be like black cream, red cookie on top, white cookie on bottom.
No, they can't do 2 different color cookies. That they do
What?
not
What do you
have
mean
the
they
machine.
can't?
They don't have the machinery to do it. They don't. It is an
Are you telling me they
aberration
have
and a
never
violation
done
of the
2
laws of
different color
physics to have
cookies?
2 different colored
I
Oreo.
Cannot
No,
think of a time that they've done 2 different colored.
it cannot be done. It's like, do you know how like when you're trying to like push like 2 positive on a magnet and 2 negative or whatever, north and south, and it's like no matter how hard you push, those 2 are never going to come together. That's what would happen if you tried to put 2 different color Oreo cookies
Yeah,
on.
I mean Oreos are granimals in cookie form.
And if you at home get regular chocolate Oreos and the yellow cookie Oreos, I don't know what those ones
Golden?
are called. Sure,
Golden.
whatever. And take off like one of the chocolates and one of the Goldens and try to put those together.
It'll explode.
We are coming for you. You are evil. You are wrong.
That's too much work.
But
Oh, it is way too much
somebody's
work.
going to do it just because. You know that
Yeah.
there's kids out there who are just like, I'm going to do this one bad thing just to prove that I have like free will in the universe.
So Saturday nights when I used to do gaming in
What's
person.
your Oreo aberrations? Is that
Yeah, we
Saturday
used to
night?
Saturday
We used to
nights when I
always
would eat
buy-
a whole box of Oreos.
We used to all buy the different flavors of Oreos
You-
and then
you guys
taste
are
test them.
Oreos don't come in boxes. Even if it's in a box, they don't come in boxes. Oreos come in sleeves. You would consume a sleeve of Oreos.
Well, it's a
I
row.
have never-
It's an open row.
I've been doing this podcast for 11 years. I've never heard Will get so worked up about any of the topics.
About a
we've
cookie
ever
he
covered.
won't even eat. True. But
That's because Will's a Hydrox fan.
Boo. Get out. Get out
what
my
is
house.
Hydrox? Okay, look.
What
What
is
is Hydrox?
Hydrox?
Oh,
Let me tell you the
my
optimal way of
gosh.
eating an Oreo. Here's the 7 million IQ.
Don't even open the package. Put it in trash. There you go. Go get a
You take
nice
a
oatmeal
fork.
raisin cookie.
You take a fork and you stab the cream of the Oreo.
What monster are you?
Yes,
that
I'm
a
not even
fork
surprised.
has come
I'm not
into
even
this with an
surprised.
Oreo.
Here we go.
What
you grab
are
you
you?
get a fork, you stab the cream of the Oreo, and then you dunk the Oreo in milk. And now you pull out the whole Oreo, so the whole Oreo gets milk. You get no milk on your fingers. The fork right in your mouth. And then you got clean hands, and you have a fully dunked, slightly soggy, it's mwah. It's so good. It's like the best way to. You cannot eat
Okay,
Oreos
listeners-
with milk.
Listeners, this is
Without
what it's
milk.
like. This is what it's like being with Steve. This is what it's like.
I am changing
You
people's
are-
lives.
You
for
are
the better.
ruining people's lives and creating fractures in reality with your terrible ideas.
And let me give you the correct version of everything that Steve just said. The proper the good, the holy and sanctified sandwich cookie is the Nutter Butter. So what you do is you take one of those with your fingers, not a fork, and scoop it in peanut butter, and then eat the peanut butter off the Nutter Butter. Yes.
We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about Bidoof Day. So we will see you in a bit. Yeah.
Glory to America! Glory to America! Glory to America!
A little cherubic child running up and down Gold Medal Park screaming,
Glory to America!
"What did I see within with my very own eyes? A sign that said, the 4th of July is on Thursday, July 4th. All plans to move to Minnesota are canceled."
Wait, no, it was really good. Okay, but the kid screaming "Glory to America!" To America!
We are back from our break. Hey, it is the start of the month. It is a perfect time to sign up for our Patreon. Patreon.com/PKMNcast. We have 1 or 2 VIP slots open if you're interested in that. We have some producer slots open if you're interested in that. But more importantly, for $5 a month, Greg, only $5 a month, they can hear you and me talk about our first Pokemon experiences
I even listened to that one.
with other members
Once
of
I
the
finally
community.
figured out how to get it.
And that
So-
was a super fun conversation. It was fun hearing from members of the community and having them come up and talk about just. It was such a warm and positive experience hearing everybody's first experiences with Pokemon. It was a fun. The hour flew by. It was super fun.
Also, for clarification, as Greg had speculated at the beginning of that recording, that I was napping with my cat. That number one, that
No.
does not happen. Number two, you guys were recording on a Saturday evening, and for me, Saturday evenings are reserved for watching the newest episode of My Hero Academia and eating Korean food. So that is what I was actually doing.
The biggest piece of feedback we get is that listeners want more to listen to, and they wish our podcasts were like 10 hours long.
Don't we like cumulatively do like 40 podcasts
Yeah.
where they could just literally just subscribe to the It's Super Effective universe and have an entire week's worth of content every week?
Yeah.
So if you want more podcasts and you want some other benefits and features, that's all over on our Patreon. And so for the $5 a month, you get access to the Slack. You get 2 bonus podcasts a month. So there's one that just came out a couple days ago. You can, as soon as you subscribe, you can see the last month's 2 and the month before that 2. Like we have an interview with Nick about him doing the music of the show. We have 2 community interviews. We have the podcast where Greg, Will, and I talk about our thoughts on E3. So there's already an established backlog of bonus podcasts that you can get for subscribing. You get into the Slack. And also, if you don't care about the Slack, you want bonus podcasts, you also get ad-free versions of this episode, so you don't have to listen to the ads that we play. But either way, if you want to support the show, if you want more podcasts to listen to, it is the start of the month. It is the best time to sign up. And yeah, that's pretty much it. isc.cash or patreon.com/PKMNcast PKMNcast if you want to check out what we have. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you can message me on Twitter or on Discord or in Instagram. I don't know. A lot of people like Instagram messaging. I get way too many, but I'm very accessible if you have questions about Patreon and how it works. And if this is your first Patreon you're signing up for, just know that, like, if you don't like it, if you're not satisfied with your $5, just let me know and I can refund you. I have no problem doing that. Appreciate you trying it, all that stuff. But anyways, that's it. And thank you to people who do subscribe to us on Patreon. Okay, let's talk about Bidoof.
Where do you want to start?
One, I didn't get a golden beaver, and I'm very upset about the whole thing. And it was the worst. It was the worst event. I worked hard. I walked outside for like 20 minutes and completed all 4 steps. I ran into like 200 Bidoof and not one of them shined. So, garbage event.
So this is the classic. If I get a shiny, the event was good.
It was great.
If I don't get a shiny, the event was bad.
It was bad. Yeah. We have established this is how these work.
Okay, so some history here. Bidoof has always been a joke in the Pokemon fandom. It has always been this, like, Bidoof is the thing you have to have on your team in Diamond and Pearl because it requires so many HMs, and Bidoof is like the Rattata or the Centrant that people just seem to like more because of its utility of HMs.
Yeah, because you can stack a lot of HMs onto a Bidoof. Yes.
Yep.
And it's kind of been a meme Pokemon for quite a while. And for whatever reason, the 25th anniversary, Diamond and Pearl remix coming out, they decided that this was the year to really focus on Bidoof, which is like cool. It's fine. Like it is refreshing to get attention on a Pokemon that isn't Pikachu, that isn't Charizard. You know, they kind of did this with Slowpoke. You know, they do that for April Fools. They did the Slowpoke song, and they, you know, did the Slowpoke glasses in Pokemon Go where he's like a year behind. Like they kind of have run that joke into the ground. But this is what I will say. To be fair, there is the Pokemon Company, which is Japan focused, and then there's the Pokemon Company International, which is mostly English focused.
Well, it's international focused.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
The Pokemon Company International, in my opinion, spent more effort and time in Bidoof Day than all of the 25th anniversary.
Yeah.
You're not wrong. And
You're
yet,
not wrong.
Shame on you for bringing that up.
Like, they really... Look, I'm not saying Bidoof Day was bad, but I am saying they put a lot into this day.
Will July 1st be Bidoof Day for all eternity going forward?
I mean, yeah.
I don't see why not.
Why not? I mean, why not? It's the world we deserve, not the one that we want.
True.
They just really...
I mean,
it wasn't bad. It was good. It was like a good day.
It was cute,
Well,
but like the joke, like it was sort of hard to be like. It's a one-note joke that was kind of funny back when they did it for April Fools, and it's back again so they could test the branching event they put into Pokemon Go that they're going to use for Go Fest. So like it was a cute way to sort of test to make sure things worked for Go, and then everywhere else was just like, yeah, it's Bidoof Day, because why the heck not? Let's just go all in. It says Bidoof Day on the Google Cal for the entire Pokemon Company, because that's how they plan all the events at the same time. And let's just go for it. It was fine as it didn't make really any sense, and it was just like, okay, is this actually going anywhere? And the answer is no. It's just there.
We have to point out that the song that they created for Bidoof Day, of every, like, from the Pokemon Company International official song about a Pokemon that has ever been made, this is absolutely the worst. The lowest amount of effort was put into. I mean, yes, cute.
I like the song.
They tried to rickroll everybody. That was cute. But could you not have put half an ounce of energy towards writing lyrics? The lyrics were so... I would rather watch a 2-hour video of where is Magnemite, here is Magnemite, where is Magnemite, here is Magnemite, than that atrocity.
When you write the lyrics to the Magikarp being the saddest Pokemon, you've already set the bar too high. And they just can't do it anymore. That
It's
Magikarp
not like
song
they're
is
writing
incredible.
songs every month. They had tons of time to plan for Bidoof Day. It's been on the calendar. Could they not have hired a fantastic lyricist?
I think the Bidoof song was fine. This
You're
is what
wrong.
This is everything.
And I'm angry because time from my life was taken as I sat and watched the entire thing, saying there's got to be something better. Oof.
So they did Bidoof in Pokemon Go. They had a very, in my opinion, okay, I'm already getting sidetracked. The Bidoof in Go, having Bidoof spawn, having Bidoof in raids, even 5-star raids, and specifically, I think that quest line was so clever and funny, and I enjoyed it a lot compared to like the roasted berries of Tepig, or the just the community day stuff. Like with that, like I think as a hardcore Pogo player, there's no reason not to buy the $1 community day stuff because you're already out. And the things you get from it are worth it. You get the incense, you get the star piece, you get the rocket radar. Like, you're a hardcore player. You're probably going to use all these items. So it is definitely worth the $1 to get the Stardust and the experience and the extra. Like, it's fine. But most people, like, I am sure that person exists. You're not a hardcore player, Greg. Don't give me those side eyes. How many Pokemon have you powered up?
A lot, because I have to do it for things. I'm just saying I did not buy the $1 this time around. I skipped it.
I think the $1 is always worth it if you're planning on playing like the entire 6 hours. You're already dedicating so much of your time to this game. You might as well spend the $1 and get more value out of it, in my opinion. That being said, I am sure there are some people out there, although probably very rare, that want to have that little storyline. And I think sometimes the storyline is cute of like the Gibble like biting your ankles or whatever, but it's also, I would probably imagine for most people they just skip through the storyline. I do. And I know I can just go to Cerebi or whatever and I can just like reread the storyline if I'm ever like, okay, what happened here? Like it's documented forever. But the Bidoof storyline was so cute and so good that you didn't want to skip it, and they even take it a little further. They took it a little further, and they're like, "Okay, you got 2 dramatic choices here," and they were like both Bidoof, and it was like you like clicked on one, and then you went back because you wanted to click on the other, and it was just very charming. And I want that I want that to those $1 community. Like I want it to be good enough where I stop to actually read it.
Well, I read the Community Day one, and at the end was very offended because classic Professor Willow asked me to do a ton of work, and then he's like, "All right, thanks. I'm going to this picnic. Sorry, you're not invited. Go on about your business. You can't come to this picnic that you just did all the work for." Great. Also, commentary on the Bidoof special research. I didn't even finish number 1, so we're going to add in this to the stack of special researches that will live uncompleted in my Pokemon Go account for months and years to come.
think of it this way, Will. Now when you see a Bidoof, you're like, oh my gosh, Bidoof, it's
But
one step closer.
I never see a Bidoof.
Well, now you will get excited when you see one.
Yeah.
It'll be like, whoa.
Trust.
Wow!
Not gonna happen.
One
No.
step closer to completing. Okay, so they did the Bidoof thing in Go.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give them credit here. If you log into Pokemon Trading Card Game Online, this app is hanging together by threads here. Any moment it can break and fall apart.
It could collapse at any moment.
But if you logged in between July 1st to July 7th, you get like a little Bidoof deck box and a Bidoof coin and Bidoof sleeves. Please do more of this. Like, stop forgetting that this client exists. If you're doing a Slowpoke day, if you're doing a Magikarp day, if you're doing a Bidoof day, if we're celebrating Pikachu Rockstar, this app needs to be part of the celebration, and they did it this time. I got huge props for that. Log into your Pokemon Trading Card Game Online, get your Bidoof sleeves for free. They did a Bidoof thing in Masters, although very simple. You just get bonus gems for logging in. I think
log-in bonus.
You get 3 login bonuses, but they give you 7 days to do it. Very generous. So if you're listening to this podcast, log in your Masters, get your Bidoof gems. They did a bunch of merch on Pokemon Center. They had like 3 shirts. They had a hat. They had like a little sign. They had a plush. To me, nothing really stood out, but I'm sure for those who truly love Bidoof, I'm sure they were very excited. That's cool, though. They did Bidoof on Pokemon TV. No one really cares about that stuff that much, but hey, if you want to watch Bidoof episodes, they did that. The coolest thing they probably did, they did the Rickroll thing, whatever. The coolest thing they probably did was they partnered with a independent artist through Mondo merch, and they did a Bidoof poster that was like $50 that you could pre-order. And let me see if that was still up, because they said it was limited. So it was by Nicole Gustafon, and it was through mondoshop.com. And it says, we are beyond excited to celebrate Bidoof Day on July 1st. Working with the Pokemon Company has been a dream for years, and being one of the first North American companies to collaborate on a project like this is an unbelievable honor. We have teamed up with Nicole Gustafon to release a gorgeous limited edition art print featuring one of the most lovable Pokemon to roam the Sinnoh region, Bidoof. It will be a limited time offer from midnight to July 5th, so act fast. And it's a screen printed poster of 18 by 24, printed by Lady Lazarus, art by Nicole. It will ship in October, and it will ship to Africa, Australia, Canada, European Union. What the heck does that even mean? Middle East and United States. What is the European Union?
What?
Where's
What?
Al? What does that mean? Is that all of Europe?
Are you?
Is that like
I
France?
can't-
Oh my word! Please stop! Stop now!
Is that Spain?
End the train wreck.
No, we already talked about trains earlier with Ingo and Emmett.
My word.
Dude,
Well, let's put it this way.
Okay,
Al
so
right
here's
now knows
proof.
nothing of the European Union. That we know for a
Here's
fact.
proof, Al. Steve has never listened to you. What's the European Union?
Have you never seen a blue flag with a circle of gold, yellow stars flying over one of the EU embassies?
No,
Well, obviously. Wait, you've been to D.C.
I don't remember that. I just remembered your apartment being very dirty.
There's an entire
that's what
website
you
about
kept
the
with
EU. Brexit was all about Britain leaving the EU. It's a whole thing. If you want to talk to Al about it,
Have you ever heard of a currency called the euro?
the euro
I
is
have.
the European
Where do you
Union
think that comes
currency.
from?
I did check. The Bidoof poster is still available for pre-order. It ends at midnight on July 5th. So if you're listening to this on Monday, if you want the Bidoof poster, it's $50. It's like $15 a ship, by the way.
It's very cute.
It is cute. That was the thing I got from Bidoof Day. I think it's awesome and very cool that the Pokemon Company partnered with Mondo and an independent artist got to do artwork officially, and this says Game Freak on it, and it says the Pokemon Company, and it says Nintendo, and it is an official poster done with a collaboration. Very cool. The only thing that I'm coming away from Bidoof Day is everything you've done here, do this for all of your events.
Yeah.
Partner with people. Acknowledge the Pokemon trading card game online. Make your Go events like you did with the Bidoof. Make them charming like this. Like, keep doing what you did here. This is my takeaway from Bidoof Day. So, I was overall very happy with Bidoof Day. Kind of came out of nowhere. They kind of beat a dead horse with it.
They really did.
But overall, I would say it was a success. It was a fun day to be a Pokemon fan. Also, the most work they probably did compared to the last 6 months.
Yeah. I mean, it felt like they were actually doing something major. It was like, and you just limited it to be like, I think what frustrates me is like it was a glimpse of what they could have been doing this entire year.
Maybe
for
it's
the
a glimpse
25th
of what
anniversary.
They will be doing going forwards, and
Hopefully.
we have more to look forward to.
I mean, that is my hope, but I will tell you, we are at the start of July, and they have stomped all hope out of my heart.
I will say, update as of this recording. All 3 Bidoof t-shirts sold out. The playmats sold out. The hat and the plush are still pre-order. They wouldn't ship anyways. The sign sold out. So yeah, I mean, they did something right, I guess. The one thing that I feel like we don't talk about enough on the show is in Japan, they get new merch like every 2 weeks. And PokeJungle is a really good account to follow because they'll tweet all the new merch. But like that's not a new thing. They have been doing this for a decade. And when you're in a Pokemon Center in Japan and you see all that merch and you go back like a month later, it's all different. Like they're just cycling out merch consistently, and it does very, very well here. We like if you're a new listener, if you haven't listened to our older shows, we've talked about this before, but the Pokemon Company is very profitable, and you would think maybe it's because of Go, or you would think maybe it's because of, you know, the main series games like Sword and Shield or Let's Go or Heart Gold Soul Silver. It's not. Their money comes from merch. They are a merch machine. 60% of all their revenue, I think it's a little higher, I think it's like 64% of all their revenue is merchandise. And I feel like the trend this year for America is they are catching up, and I feel like every week they're putting something new on PokemonCenter.com. Even if it's 1 or 2 things, that I really thought when they launched PokemonCenter.com like 2 years ago that it was going to be dead in the water after like 3 months. Here's a bunch of stuff. Here's a bunch of plushes. We're never going to update it. Everything's sold out. And there was like a small period where like they weren't updating it and everything was kind of sold out. But now they're just pumping out merch. Like every week I feel like Pokemon Center has something new. And it's like there are some things exclusive to our Pokemon Center compared to Japan. Like Japan doesn't get these ceramic figures that they keep, or resin figures that they keep pumping out. And we don't get a lot of like the Japanese stuff. Like they got like a Sinistea teapot, which was cool, or a Poltergeist teapot, I should say. And we may get that. Like, we get some of the Japan stuff, like, 6 months after. Like, they get their Sitting Cuties well in advance before us. Like, they have all Gen 3 Sitting Cuties. I don't think we're there yet with Gen 3 Sitting Cuties. But, yeah. The Pokemon Center is like, I feel like this money-making machine, even in a time where, like, you know, Sword and Shield's almost two years old.
It's a little long in the tooth.
Yeah, a little long in the tooth. But, man, they have their hands in so many pots. Is that an expression? Hands in the pots?
No.
No, but sure. You've already defeated me many times this show, so I haven't recovered from the EU thing. So sure, whatever you want.
I'm still thinking about Beartic from last week, honestly.
Good old Beartic.
Anyways, final bit of news here is that they're doing kind of IRL Pokemon Go stuff. And we'll end with this. We don't have to spend too much time on it, but this is off Pokemon Go Live. They say Pokemon GO Fest news doesn't stop. We're excited to announce a real-world Pokemon GO Fest celebration that will be held in 20 cities this year. This is up for, some people are excited, some people are not excited. I understand both arguments.
Yeah.
Some people are confused.
That's consistent on the show. We can't gather at the scale of the previous Pokemon Go events. These outdoor, socially distanced experience will certainly be worth attending if you're nearby. Don't worry, the Pokemon Go Fest 2021 in-game experience will be the same for everyone. However, trainers who attend the in-person can look forward to enjoying photo opportunities as they explore the city. Please note that these real-world celebrations are scheduled for Saturday, 10 to 6, and will not happen on Sunday. As you plan your weekend, please adhere to local policy, guidelines, and restrictions regarding travel. In-person celebrations for the United States are San Francisco, Denver, Atlanta, Chicago, Indianapolis, New York City, Nashville, Austin, Seattle, and D.C. For Europe, it is Linz, Dresden, Essen, Hamburger, Sevilla, Paris, Warsaw, Bristol, Edinburgh, Liverpool, and London. And for Asian Pacific, it is, actually no Japanese cities. It is Auckland. Did I say that right? Auckland.
Yeah, you didn't say a lot of things in Europe, right? But it's fine. We're just
You
going to
hurt
move
me.
on.
Hey, I said
me.
Paris, right? Essen?
You did.
I said Essen, right? Bristol? Liverpool? Come on. I
How's
got like
about
50%.
Sevilla.
Seville. Ooh, that sounds way better. Seville.
It's not Edinburgh.
Yeah, I said Edinburgh, didn't I? You guys are putting words in my mouth.
And it's Ludon.
Okay. Let me finish the press release. If you want to join in these celebrations, you must register via the link. This is off PokemonGoLive.com or through the event section in the app. Registration is free. Spots are limited. First come, first serve. Please attend the in-person experience only if you confirmed registration. If you are unable to register, please help keep crowd sizes at reasonable and safe levels. Note, an in-game Go Fest ticket will not grant you admission to these real-world celebrations. If you live in one of these cities above but not able to register, don't worry. You can still participate in Go Fest in your home city. We can't wait for you to experience the musical adventure that is Go Fest no matter where you play. We hope that this year's event can make your favorite places feel extra special. And then they say, make sure you follow guidelines and stuff. Okay. So the complaint here is probably more so focused to Europe, since their vaccine rollout is not as quick as the United States, and they have had a increase in cases with the Delta variant.
Yes, but they also, there is an application to the U.S. too, which was that throwaway line at the beginning of please follow travel guidance for the locations, because I know D.C., if you are coming to D.C. from another state, you are supposed to quarantine for 14 days.
Yep.
So, don't show up at D.C. the day before and expect to go to this event, because you're not welcome.
Okay. But I feel like we have to talk about the event itself. It's just a photo op.
It's
like...
But they didn't give any detail, right? Yeah. So when I asked Niantic...
Okay,
so
when I talked to Niantic and I said, I just, are these players getting anything that other players are not getting? Are they getting better spawns? Are they getting, more gifts from Pokestops? They just told me that it is just the photo you just get the exclusive picture. they're saying that it is a physical photo op. But players will not receive anything in-game or real life. It is literally just a picture opportunity.
Yes.
That's all it is.
That makes sense.
So
possibly a food truck congregated nearby that you could purchase food items from.
So just like everything COVID related, this was probably planned a while ago when things were looking good. It probably didn't seem too terrible to set up, right? I don't know how complicated or how hard it is to make however many photo opportunity stands. We don't even know what they look like. It's probably like Meloetta and Galarian Zigzagoon or something,
yeah,
right?
some sort of maybe like a band shell, like where a performance would be, and it's like maybe you can stand in the band shell and look like you're on stage with Meloetta or something weird like that.
They got 25 cities or something. They hired 25 people off Craigslist or whatever to stand there to look at your phone. No, that's like a real thing. Like I don't know if people know this, but like when Nintendo does their like pop-up booths at like Mall of America or Mayfair, they literally just get people off Craigslist and they pay them like $25 an hour, and they say like this is like a 3-day gig, and that's it. And they sign an NDA and they show people how to play like Wii Sports, and then they like move on. Like that's like what they do, because they're going from city to city, so they need local people to run these booths, and they like walk away with a free Nintendo shirt and like $500. So they're setting up 25 booths. You have to register to even like stand in a line. You get up there, you take a picture, and then you're done. That's like it, right? I don't think personally, I totally understand the concern, but I don't think it's like that big of a deal. Like it's an outside, take a picture. That is your day, and then you're done. Like there's nothing else to do there.
Yeah, well, I mean, what the concern is that they aren't implying like if you're unable to like, so when we went to Go Fest, people just walked into the park. Like there wasn't a person that stopped you and checked your ticket. It's just that things that activated. So I think what people's fear of is looking at past events. More people that have tickets potentially will show up and attempt to do the thing that they aren't going to be able to do. And in past events, Niantic did not have gatekeeping. They did not have a good way. They relied completely on the app of doing that. And since this is not detailed on the website, there is concern that there are a number of people who are just going to show up and make this more potentially dangerous than it needs to be for a photo op. And they're sort of walking this line of fear of missing out but also be safe. It's just like,
I mean, like they say, like, don't worry, the Pokemon Go Fest experience will be the same for everyone around the world. Like it's almost like these press releases need like an FAQ, but I think the problem is like no one would read it. Like I went to Niantic, I got clarification that it's literally just some standee that you will be able to take a picture in front of, which is cool if you're in that city, totally cool. But I would assume for most people they're not going to be like, oh, I live in Kenosha, Wisconsin, I'm going to drive down to Chicago because I want a picture with Meloetta. I'm sure one of the or two or three of those people exist.
Yes.
But I don't think the vast majority of like fans are going to be like, oh, it's just a photo opportunity. Okay, I don't have to go to Chicago. But to be fair, if you live in Kenosha, I would say maybe you should go to Chicago because it's a better place to play than Kenosha. Like there's just more gyms, more stops, more spawns because because the spawns and everything are based on cell phone traffic. There's just so many people in Chicago. It's a great city to play at.
Well, I think honestly, I'm developing a new rule for 2021. Follow it if you wish. Don't follow it if you don't wish. But here's Will Anderson's rule for 2021. Do the things that you're comfortable doing Don't complain about people doing things that you are not comfortable doing. Done. Do it if you want to. Don't do it if you don't.
I just leave it there. There's just a lot I could say about this. It is what it is. I am not behind Niantic's many choices currently, so
I don't think this is the worst.
But
I understand the concern. I don't want to sound like if I was going to Chicago, would I sign up for this photo opportunity? Yes, I would. If I was going to Chicago, which was a thought we talked about on the show, like, are we going to go to Chicago this year? Mm-hmm. And if this was in Minneapolis, would we, the three of us, sign up for this? I think we would.
Yeah.
But I don't know what the situation, like, are they going to have a person standing there saying, like, okay, everyone's 6 feet apart?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like, if those questions were answered, I think people would feel, I think the people who have concerns, and your concerns are 100% valid.
100% valid.
I think people would then feel better, but, like, I don't know. Like, what does this look like? It's almost like, what if they had a picture of, like, this is what the photo opera looks like. Yeah. This is what the line looks like. If you want to sign up, cool. Hey, don't worry though. If you're in San Antonio, don't drive an hour to Austin. Maybe it's an hour and a half.
It is
because it's not worth it.
Right. I think the problem is they are still putting out press releases with limited details in a situation where we need better details to make more informed decisions given the state of the world. And I think what frustrates me and a lot of other people is the fact that they want it all ways, and people are going to make ill-informed decisions because you have not provided them the proper amount of information, and it is not hard to provide that information. Like, again, if you had if there's a picture of what the plan is, like, this is what the photo op is, this is what we're planning, because they've had to have it to plan it because they've had to have this in design.
I don't know. There's certain amounts that you just can't plan for.
Yeah, but you know what your setup is going to be. If you're going into a city and saying, hey, we're going to set this up, you have talked to them at least a month in advance.
This is the other thing I don't get. Maybe it tells you when you sign up. I didn't sign up. Chicago's a big city. Where is this stand? Like, where am I going?
Where am I going?
I think it doesn't tell you until you sign up. Yes.
Like, is there just one? Is there two? Is there four?
Yeah.
Like, is there one person working it? Is there 5 people working it? Is it going to be roped off? Did Chicago pay for this? Did Niantic pay Chicago? Like, what's...
Yeah, it's just...
Like, I get there's a lot of parties involved. There's a lot of different cities. There's the Pokemon Company. There's Niantic. This was probably planned for a while. They had to go to some company to build some of these standees that they got laying around. And, maybe they built the standees and they were like, oh, we're going to take a huge loss on these standees because we were hoping COVID was going to be solved by then. And maybe we can try to get some of our money back by partnering with Atlanta. But again, like, Denver, Atlanta, Chicago, Indianapolis, New York, these are huge cities. Where are you going? What is happening?
Well, calling Indianapolis a huge city is a bit of a stretch.
Okay. It's very spread out.
It is very spread out. I would assume that the Indianapolis one would, like, my assumption is, like, the Chicago one is probably by the Bean. The Indianapolis one is probably by that giant roundabout statue with the fountain. That would be my guess. Austin is probably by 17 food trucks.
Yes. That is basically the perfect description of all of Austin.
It's so hard because I see like, okay, if you're in the city, if you're playing Go Safely, it's outside. This is like a fun, probably 10-minute thing out of your day. Like, people, like, you're not going to stand there for an hour. You're getting a picture and you're moving on. So like, yeah, this seems fun. And then I see the other side of like, why even do this? Like, I see both sides. I don't know. In the audio podcast, I'm throwing my hands up. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't have a good answer. It's
a test for future Go Fest to see if they can hold a physical event in multiple cities. Very simple version of it. Next year, it'll be more advanced.
Yeah. Anyways, question of the week, Greg.
all right. Hold on. I'm exhausted from that conversation. All right. Oh, question of the week pulled from YouTube and Slack.
I mean,
like
yes,
this timeline.
the
Glory to
better
America.
and more appropriate anthem. Yes.
There
Still
was a
problematic.
bunch of stuff. You guys really knocked it out of the park with Tone, Chris, Catherine,
Wait, which Chris?
Andrew, Alex.
Chris Christie, Chris?
Lots of news this week. So there's
Yeah.
me acknowledging your names in the Attic channel, but thank you for sending stuff in. Where's our question of the week? I just lost it. I had it, then I lost it.
Way up at the top.
Oh yeah, because the Piplup came.
Right below the Bidoof picture thing.
Man,
Oh,
you guys
boy.
are having a lot of fun in that Attic channel.
You're in it.
I am not.
You
I am
are.
actually not.
Al says Bidoof question mark. Brandon says if you have to make a game around Bidoof, what would it be? Tone says Pokemon Legends Bidoof one. Bidoof is already on the cover of Legends.
Yeah. Bidoof is in Legends. It is already all about Bidoof. It would be a tap Bidoof chopping through wood, a cookie clicker thing. How much
Bidoof
could
cookie
you?
clicker.
Yeah, Bidoof cookie clicker chewing through logs.
How much wood
Done.
could a Bidoof doof?
Doof. If a Bidoof doof
could
doof.
doof wood.
I do
Lord
love
Doofington.
cookie clickers a lot.
You do.
Uh,
Are there? Could there be a Bidoof like one of those running escape things where it's Bidoof swimming down a river?
oh, like Temple Escape
Yeah,
or
like
whatever.
Temple Run, Bidoof Run, Bidoof River Run.
Or Bidoof Frogger.
Oh, can't Bidoof.
What is
across
he
the
trying to
road.
dodge?
I mean, he's got to get across the highway, and then
Gotta
he's
get
got
off
to
the
get across
highway.
the river.
Yeah, and there's Feraligatr in that river.
Yeah.
Speaking of games, this is from Tom from our YouTube. Some of y'all asking, look, I love our YouTube comments. They're very nice and humble, at least in the podcast episodes. They're very nice. Boy, my YouTube shorts, you get some wild comments on those. Some of y'all write in paragraphs, though, which is very nice. We're going to do an easy one this week. This is from Tom. It says, stepping away from main title games, do you have any ideas for spin-off Pokemon games that haven't been from here in England? Thank you, Tom.
I am still 100% behind a Pokemon Tower Defense game.
I feel like Tower Defense is so 2012.
They are still making them,
They're still fun, do you?
and they're still fun.
Are we going back to Clash Royale?
No, that's not Tower Defense. That's PvP.
Yeah, it was like Tower Chess. I still want a Pokemon racing game. Like, legit, actually, Pokemon racing game.
Like a Mario Kart where they're in cars?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Like Pikachu in a car.
Well, it would be, yeah, because you could, like, the problem with Pokemon is, in a racing concept is just some Pokemon are naturally faster, and then, like, some can
Right.
fly and some can only swim. So, like, if you had a vehicle that was like, oh, Pikachu driving a Swanna vehicle, but then you could change out the Pikachu to be like, oh, now the Pikachu's in, like, a Gigalith vehicle, because Gigalith could never race. He's too slow.
He's too slow.
But even if it was like, I would just be super happy if it was just, they put Link and Isabelle in Mario Kart. Why can't we just have like Squirtle?
Squirtle.
Wartortle.
Like that would probably
Squirtle's
like
not old enough to drive.
No, that'd be
satisfy my itch for the Pokemon Mario Kart kind of
What
situation.
if they put a Mario Party Pokemon game.
So no, this is what
Pokemon
I was
Party.
thinking. Dr. Eevee, which is similar to Dr. Mario, where things drop in and you've got to match them and not fill up the thing. But if you get the correct evolution order sequencing, then the Pokemon evolves and you get abilities that assist with your Dr. Eeveeing.
Yeah, I like that.
So like a Pokemon Tetris type version, or Pokemon Puyo Puyo, or etc.
Trying to think of what else. I mean, they did a Pokemon fighting game. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, bring back Pokemon Ranger.
I do
That's already
like
done.
the Mario Party situation.
Yeah.
They kind of did that with Animal Crossing, but they messed it up.
Yeah, they should do a non-messed up Pokemon version.
A Pokemon Portal, like a hyper-realistic first-person puzzle game where you have to somehow incorporate Pokemon to escape the rooms and solve the puzzles. Like Detective Pikachu After Dark for adults.
They could literally take the 14 games from Stadium 1 and the 14 games from Stadium 2 and then just add a bunch of new games that are literally reskins of, like, instead of catching Digletts, you're catching Patrats or Watchhogs that pop up. You remember the Ekans? You pull back the Ekans, you get your Diglett, just change it out for like Watchhogs. They could just like reskin, or they could just make a couple new ones, and they could add a board.
Yeah.
And like even if the board part was bad, which it probably would be, people would just be like, "Oh, I can play Stadium mini games on Switch." That's like
yeah.
They would just buy it because they like that. Those mini games were pretty good.
Hear me out. Each stage is a gym. And you are collecting badges from the gym leaders instead of stars.
Oh, I see. You were going back to the board game part.
Yes, Mario Party.
Stadium did have gym leaders.
Yeah, but like if it was Pokemon Party, and each board was a gym, and instead of stars, you got badges, and you moved your Pokemon around the gym. And then all the mini games from Stadium and all the other ones are the things you fight against each other. Sold. Done. Easy. Check, please, Nintendo.
Hey, it's 25th anniversary. They could surprise us with a brand new game later this year. Probably not.
That's not how they work.
That's not what's going to happen. Stop getting your hopes up. This has been a terrible anniversary.
We had Bidoof
Could be worse.
Day.
Could be worse.
Could be worse.
Hey, we still
Could
got
be much better.
5 months left of the year. Will, give us a Pokemon of the week.
All right, so the Pokemon from last week is one that I got newly added to my Pokedex in Pokemon Go by completing a 5-month-old special research that originally had required that you battle Jesse and James, but since Jesse and James aren't in the game anymore, had been subsequently edited. This Pokemon had been added to Pokemon Go on May 17th, 2019, but cannot be caught in eggs or in the wild. You have to use a mossy lure on a Pokestop, which, everybody who visited the art park yesterday, you're welcome for all of the inappropriate lures that I placed around.
We put up magnets, we put up ice, we put up mossy.
And specifically
put up
in
the
Pokemon
premium
Go,
lures.
Oh, yeah. Specifically in Pokemon Go, it can evolve into one of two final forms because for whatever reason, its second evolution is basically in Pokemon Go considered as almost like two different Pokemon. So for those of you who guessed the final evolution, you obviously weren't paying attention when I said that this Pokemon can evolve. But yes, that's very specific to Go. How it works in other Pokemon games is very different. Okay, more than enough information. Who is it?
It's...
Zigzagoon.
Yeah. It's... Cherubi.
Cherubi.
Isn't that
is...
Cherubi?
it doesn't matter. It's disturbing. Have you ever read the Pokedex entry for Cherubi?
The shuffle is gorgeous. The shiny is okay. It's just weirdly lighter, and I'm not a fan.
You know how Cherubi has that like second head hanging off? The Pokedex entry, I think it's in the Pokemon Go. Does Pokemon Go have Pokedex entries?
No.
Somewhere. Okay,
I wish.
Somewhere, it basically says that Cherubi stores nutrients in that second head and then like uses them. And I'm like, oh, why? Why does it have to have a face then?
It nimbly dashes about to avoid getting pecked by bird Pokemon that would love to make off with its small, nutrient-rich storage ball.
Yes, with a face.
With a face.
Is there a
Maybe
Cherubi
it's like
trivia?
maybe it's like a decoy. Like the birds will take that one and the main body will get away.
Like dogs that have like the little marks above their eyes,
Yeah.
which are not eyebrows. They're so that when the dog is sleeping, it looks like their eyes are still open.
No, there's no trivia.
Dang. All right.
Cherubi seems to be based on a cherry.
Oh my gosh.
That's its trivia.
All right, what about next week?
Here we go. In the popular home video game series known as Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, two of the playable characters derived from sibling Nintendo-based home video game series Pokémon Sun and Pokémon Moon can be said to potentially share a career. This week's Pokémon's Up Special move, unlike many other Super Smash Bros. Ultimate playable characters' Up Special moves, does not leave the Pokemon helpless, but is dangerous to use on stages where falling off the side is a possibility, as it requires preparing for the landing location before you initiate the move. I loves me some Smash Bros. Ultimate.
You do not. You have never played it once. You outsourced. For your
No.
Bros.
No. It's fortunately I'm like the crouton floating in the bowl of tomato soup, where the tomato soup is I'm constantly surrounded by people playing Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and I'm just sitting there floating. And I'm like, well, they'll have to get tired of it at some point.
And they never do.
But we did have an extensive discussion of this particular Pokemon this very morning.
Okay, we'll be back next week. Thank you for listening. Have a safe week. Okay, so next week will be normal.
Yep.
Episode. We have a partnership with Discord right now. And so for Go Fest, we're going to be doing a live podcast after day 1 and day 2 of Go Fest through Discord, because it's a partnership with Discord. So we're going to be using their sound stage. So if you want to hear Greg, Will, and our thoughts after day 1 of Go Fest, we'll be doing that night. We'll tweet more details of like exact start time. It'll be an hour long. And then we'll be doing that again on Sunday night. And if you miss those will go into the premium feed if you can't make it live. But if you can make it live, they'll be completely free to listen to and stuff. And then I'll still be in Minnesota probably on Monday. So we'll probably have a pre-recorded, like earlier than Go Fest, of just, news and stuff that week. Or maybe we'll squeeze in like an interview. We haven't had an interview with somebody in a while. So that's at least the plans for the Go Fest stuff. If you are interested in Twitch or watching on Twitch, I am streaming a lot of Go this month on Twitch. So instead of being at my desk shiny hunting or competitive battling, we'll be out and about. So for Community Day, for Tepig, we were downtown Milwaukee, and I was showing people around downtown Milwaukee while we played Go. So if you want to come by our outdoor IRL streams, twitch.tv/PKMNcast for that. But thank you guys so much for listening. We'll be back next week. Will is at Washing the Sink. Greg is at White Wing. I am at Dragging a Lake. You can follow the podcast on Twitter at PKMNcast. Thanks for our ad sponsor, and we will see you all next time. This has been another episode of the Pokemon Podcast, and we are
Super effective.
Super sorry, European Union. We're trying really hard.
The United States education system.